Thank you so much, Madam Chair. And it's a bit surreal for me to sit here as someone who attended college in Memphis, Tennessee, and is a civil rights lawyer, and now has the privilege of serving in Congress, mostly because of the activism of not only Dr. King, but all of those involved in the civil rights movement. And to serve as the ranking member, nevertheless, when I know that literally it was he, along with others, that fought for the Voting Rights Act to be signed into law, as well as the Civil Rights Act to be signed into law. At the same time, I can't help but to feel a bit conflicted at the moment in which we're in right now, where it seems like a lot of that work is being rolled back. But nevertheless, I am so grateful to the chairwoman for making sure that we could dig into this, because if we don't understand the errors of our past, then we are doomed to repeat them. This past weekend, we celebrated the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a life dedicated to fighting for civil liberties and economic opportunity through non-violent resistance, a legacy built on demanding institutions to uphold the promises laid out in our Constitution, and an impact continued by his living children. 1 year ago, President Trump signed Executive Order 14176, which ordered the release and declassification of documents regarding the assassinations of former President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. King. This order and the subsequent release of roughly 250,000 pages pertaining to Dr. King's assassination were done in the name of transparency and strong public interest. Yet when it comes to the crimes that have not been brought to justice or the victims and families that have not had their day in court, this administration has lied to the American people, disregarded subpoenas and discharged petitions like they are mere suggestions, and continues to trample over transparency despite incredibly strong public interest, both domestically and internationally. Dr. King's assassin was held accountable for his crimes, but I'm sure we all know of a group of individuals who have not been afforded that same justice. The hundreds of victims of sexual abuse and human trafficking at the hands of Epstein, Maxwell, and countless others. We have no knowledge of due to this administration's withholding of the files. And I must say that the chairwoman has also been very strong on these issues, so I just want to be clear on that. How can we engage in a serious conversation about what the American people ought to know when there are predators and their enablers that continue to walk free and potentially perpetrate those same crimes? We simply cannot in good faith, but this administration does not know good faith. This administration knows distraction, destruction, and deals all for the benefit and protection of the president and his billionaire buddies. We know that no new information regarding King's assassination was uncovered following the release of the declassified documents. But released documents pertaining to the FBI and CIA's investigation of King highlight the weaponization of the FBI to undermine King's efforts and tarnish his image, something this administration knows all too well, whether it be weaponizing the DOJ to go after Jack Smith for his January 6th investigation, or the directing of the FBI to investigate Miss Becca Good following her wife, Renee Good's murder at the hands of an ICE agent. This administration's actions today are reminiscent of Hoover's FBI that worked so diligently to ensure that equality and justice for all would not become a reality. Trump's 2025 release of the declassified MLK documents also circumvents a 1977 order by Judge John L. Smith to seal the records for 50 years, which would release them in 2027. Releasing the documents 2 years ahead of their schedule order is another example of this administration's laundry list of ignoring the law and its pattern of slashing through protocols that protect our national security and intelligence. Today's hearing and the continued actions of the administration undermine the work Dr. King dedicated his life to, while also reminding us how the Trump administration and Republicans, to quote Dr. King himself, are more concerned about the status quo than about justice, equality, and humanity. Thank you, and I yield back.